There is absolutely zero information on these road glide swaps. You just can't find anything. So I'm going to tell you my experience and everything that I had to do. Yo, what is good, YouTube? What is going on? So today we have something totally different than what I normally do. I'm pretty much full blown into this thing. Like 98% of like my money and like time goes here. If you guys are a current subscriber and you guys have been tuned in, you know we bought this thing and not a single bolt has changed since my last video. So, you know, it's just how the ball's rolling at the moment. But we do have a damn near fully built stunt build road glide here, and that's precisely what I'm here to talk about. So it is super difficult to find any information on doing a road glide swap. Now this bike originally was a 100th anniversary, obviously, as you can tell by the tank and the paint minus the fairing, because we haven't painted that yet, but we're gonna get there. 100th anniversary, and now it wasn't just an electric glide. It was an electric glide ultra classic. So this thing has had every single bell and whistle, has all the wiring, all the crazy stuff, dude. It has had every possible wire that these touring bikes could even possibly come with. So this is a full road glide swap, and this is how I did it. Unfortunately, I should have recorded since day one, since buying the bike, but I didn't do that, unfortunately. I just kind of quit YouTube for a while, but this is like my 4th time going back at YouTube. But this is really just to help the community out, because there is absolutely zero information on these road glide swaps. You just can't find anything. So I'm going to tell you my experience and everything that I had to do as best as I can, while showing you the bikes and showing you the parts, while telling you a full list of everything I needed to do. So majorly this would be kind of the same for your electric glides, your ultra classics, and your like any other touring bike. So the road glide or road kings as well, it's going to be majorly the same swap. The only difference with the road king is you're going to need a glide harness. So that could be an electric glide or a road glide. You just got to buy the harness, buy the gauges, and then you can put that stuff in there. But I guess it's time to tell you how it all started and where we went. So I'll put it up on a screen. This bike was originally obviously the ultra classic. So there's a picture of it here now. This thing was a full-blown paw rig, like to the max, absolutely. Like stretch bags. It had the bags that went all the way down. It had the True Dual Reinhardts. It had the speakers and the amps in the bag, so it had like the speakers here. So I'll touch on that as well. First and foremost, the first thing I did was completely ripped the fairing off. So the electric glide fairing was here. It is mounted to here, like kind of like a Road King. And you just kind of rip everything off. It's not hard to demolish on a job. It is easy to demolish. You just take everything apart. You're not going to use anything from the electric glide, right, besides the gauges. So when you're taking your electric glide apart, all I did was unplug these from the back, which when you take your fairing apart, you will see. You take these out from the back, and then all I did was run tape around them, and I put oil pressure, voltage gauge, fuel level, oil temperature, and then these ones are obvious, but you just unplug those and you tape those together, and then they only go into one spot. So that one's not hard to mess up. Now I'll also show a picture up here of my bike when it was all ripped apart. So you've seen the wires and all that stuff. They're just absolutely hanging out, but it doesn't matter, right? So now what you're going to do is you're going to start reassembling, and that's where the road glide swap comes in. You're going to see this part of the bike, which is going to have absolutely nothing on it. You're going to have like just absolutely zero. All this wiring is going to be in the electric glide harness, and you're just going to see your triple trees here. So your first thing you're going to need, which you can get, the brackets don't really matter that much. OEM brackets, OEM everything is going to be better when you're doing these swaps. Anything TCMT is just not the way to do it, but if you had to do it for the brackets, it's not a huge deal. So you can get your location of brackets. Everything on mine is OEM, so I'm not going to link anything below. I'll tell you where I got everything, including my gauge relocations and everything I got on here. But long story short, find yourself a fairing bracket. It's just a road glide fairing bracket. They're everywhere. They mass produce these things from China. Or you can find an OEM bike that's totaled and get it from there. So it's literally this bracket right here. I'll show a picture on screen of what it looks like. And then you're going to do these two bolts. There's a bolt here and a bolt down here. It's very clear that they go through the frame. Now if you have an electric glide or a Road King, they're gonna, in the frame, they're gonna have a little silicone piece that is blocking the holes. You just take them out. It's painfully obvious where those go. Now it's hard for me to get in there and show you where they go, but it's, again, it's painfully obvious where they go, right? And then your OEM wiring harness is going to be here, and it's just all going to be laying around right here. So you're gonna tuck it all in through here. I'll try to zoom in if I can. If I can't, then I'm sorry, but you just take your entire wiring harness right here. Hopefully you can see that, and you just pull it all through this one side of the bracket. And then it's all going to sit on the other side of this bracket here, okay? And now when that's all out, you're gonna put the inner fairing on, right? So me personally, I rip the speakers out, I rip the radio out, because I'm obviously gonna be driving this thing like pretty insane, and I want as least amount of weight as possible because it's a bagger. I'm coming from Sportsters and Dynas, mainly Sportsters, so that's even more of a reason for me myself to get rid of everything that I don't need. So I got rid of the amps, the speakers. That is only if you have those in there from the previous owner. I cut all the wiring out of that, which I can get into in a different video. So like I was saying, I ripped the speakers out, I ripped the head unit out, but that is also because I have the My Machinist gauge relocation on there, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So now you're bolting the fairing up. See, there is studs that go through this bracket that come on all the brackets, OEM or TCMT. There's just studs that stick out, and then you just put the bolts on, whether it comes with the bolts or you find the bolts. I forget what size it is, but you can literally just go to Tractor Supply or a part hardware store, match it up, color itself good. So those bolt on just like that, and that also has a plate that goes in here that holds the headlight. So there's going to be an inner frame, there's going to be an inner fairing mount, and then there's going to be a paired piece that goes with it. So I'll put a picture of it up here, and what you're going to do with that is when you're bolting the inner fairing to this bracket, that piece goes on this side of the fairing. Now I know this sucks because the bike is not a part. Ideally it would be perfect if I just recorded it from the get-go, because I did every single thing you could possibly imagine to this bike. It's absolutely insane. Every nut and bolt has been touched on this bike. It's genuinely insane. I don't know why I didn't record it, but like I said, this is strictly to get some information out there, because I wish there was a video of somebody just simply talking about the Road Glide swap out there on the internet. But I'm in the Skinny Tire Baggers group, I'm in all these groups, and there's just zero information at all. You'll get lucky if you find somebody like I did. There was a guy at my job that knew something about these things, and he gave me a little information, so I had a little bit of a wait. But regardless, this is my OEM black fairing, obviously, which is not a 100th anniversary edition, which sucks. But at the same time, I can do the paint because look at the bags. I did a full police bag swap. And literally any 99 and probably older, but safe bet, 99 to 2013 fairing is gonna bolt onto this bike. No problems, inner and outer, you can do that. So OEM inner, OEM outer. I wanted to do it that way because the 13 and down bikes are already pretty rattly, and when you get cheap stuff, it makes it even worse. So now the windshield, Harley doesn't offer cool stuff, right? So when you're talking about aesthetic parts, now this is something that you don't want to get OEM. I have a Clockwork 8-inch, I believe. It's 8 or a 6-inch, I can't remember what it is, but it's the aggressive swoop up. Works great. It feels the exact same as my 12-inch shield did. I had a 12-inch shield on there. The 8-inch or 6-inch, I literally don't remember which one this is, works the exact same because of the way they design the arrow, which is absolutely beautiful. And then I have a trim piece on here. None of this is necessary. You don't even need the windshield. Coming down to here, I also have OEM headlights. Now I hate the look of Amazon LEDs. I hate the look of anything besides the super, like the Baja lights are the only things that I actually like can say I appreciate, and I don't feel like spending $1,200 or damn close on a headlight setup right now. So what I did was I bought super nice LED bulbs for the OG look, and that's another big thing is I love the OG OEM Harley front headlight look. Everybody's like, oh, why didn't you do the 2014 and up fairing swap? Because this one's way sicker, it's way cooler, and it just has that classic look that you can't get anywhere else. Also, everybody and their mom rides around, like all the pawpaws run around with the 14 and up fairing because they have newer bikes. Now all the cool guys like Seabair and all them that are stunting these things, they all run these. Now that has nothing to do with my opinion on them, but it does have something to do with the fact that I would not be running a 2017 fairing. Just my cup of tea, man. Not on a Skinny Tire bike. But now to the gauges. Now that you have everything bolted on and you have all the parts that you need, the gauges just go right in. So when you take the gauges out of your Electra Glide inner, they mount the exact same way to the Road Glide. It's exactly the same. And what I would do is take a picture of your dashboard, or even, you know what, if you already ripped it apart, I'll even do you one better. Voltage, oil pressure, oil temperature, fuel, right? That's the order they go in. I did not have to extend my harness at all. I did extend the harness 0%, All I did was bolt it together. Okay, now there are some tight fits. It is tight in there. I did have to zip tie a lot up. I did have to do that. Regardless, it's in there. I didn't have to extend anything. The only thing that did not reach was my 12 volt for the lighter output, but nobody uses those these days, and yeah, I don't really care. So me personally, that doesn't matter. If it matters to you, you can extend the wires. It's a 12 volt system. All you got to do is get wire and extend it. It's very easy. You can put the connectors on. You could even use butt connectors because it's not a communication wire. It's just power and ground. So, and like I said, when you pull everything apart, label everything with a piece of tape that says where it goes, and makes your life so much easier. But other than that, I have the My Machinist gauge relocation. I absolutely love this. It gets rid of the radio, and it has, now this was not easy. This is not part of the road glide swap. You do not need this, but I wanted this because it just, dude, it's so baller, right? This is my favorite bike that I've ever purchased. And the first day I rode it, I knew for a fact I was not going to buy any cheap parts for it, so I don't care. We're running thrash and everything, Elite Mototech, Brembo front master. We got the Brembo bagger bottoms. We got custom made stainless lines. Like, I'm putting every dollar I have into this thing. That's really all you need for the swap. Now, another thing that I'm going to do with this video is, if you guys are doing the swap and you have literally any questions, comment them down below, because I am going to respond to every single comment on this particular video, no matter what it is, so that I can help you guys out. Because I never had a source of, like, so I never had someone to ask. I would post in groups and nobody would be helpful. Everybody would point me in the wrong directions. I'll point you in the right direction. I went from an electric glide to a road glide, which is the hardest swap to do. So every other swap is easier. You do a Road King, you plug a harness in, you put everything up. It's the exact same thing as an electric glide that I just talked about. Or if you do a Road King and you don't care about any of the gauges, which a lot of guys do, it's even easier because all you do is bolt it on and you just go ride the bike. You don't even deal with anything electrical. So if you guys have any questions at all, leave them down below. And if you guys care enough, subscribe to the channel. The next video I'm going to release is me doing a build overview on this bike. I'm going to do every single part I have into it. I'm going to do my future plans. I want to let you know everything I've done to build this bike the way it is. Like I said, 90% of this bike has been done. I am waiting on the front suspension, and that is literally it. After that, we are a completed build, and actually no, we have a SMT Hypec to match the front coming in the mail, but those are all built to order, and they take 10 to 12 weeks to get here, so loving that right now. So this thing will not be looking right this year, so hopefully next year I'll have the 18-inch wheel. But other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions, leave them down below, and I mean anything at all that has to do with the swap, just let me know what you guys need to know. I am here to help. I've had every issue. I've had everything that could possibly go wrong. I've dealt with it on this bike. It took me 2 months to do the road glide swap because of how little information is out there, and I don't want that for other people. So hopefully I see you guys in the next video where we talk about the entire build process on this bike, and yeah, hopefully I see you there. Peace.